Peace, peace. We about to get into this networking module. So, number one, networking is just meeting people and keeping in contact with people, okay? It's making contacts and having contacts that you can actually reach out to and, get something out of those contacts, right? Now, the thing is, you don't want to just have a network full of people you're just constantly asking stuff of, but you want to have a network of people who you provide value to, and they also can provide some sort of value to you. So the core foundation of networking, which I think in reality is the core foundation of all relationships, is value, right? You don't get any type of value from a person, you're probably not going to be their friend. You're probably not going to be in a relationship with them. You're probably never even going to interact with them if your experiences don't bring you anything. Now, what is value? Value could be anything. Value could be something like, this is just somebody who I laugh with every time we're together. Value could be, man, she looks so good. That's what I like about her. She's not the funniest, she's not the smartest, she's not the sharpest, but she looks so good. And I just am so, pleased by her appearance. You see what I'm saying? That may be valuable to you. So you have to think of how you bring value to a space. What are the things that make you bring value to a space beyond even just your music? Because your music is your music. Everybody got music. But what makes you valuable, right? That's the foundation of networking. Now, I have a good friend. His name is K6, right? And if you ever seen him, he calls himself Soy Sauce. That's one of his nicknames, K6. K6 where you're at. K6WYA on Instagram, right? And this guy is one of the most brilliant networkers I know. One of the most brilliant producer networkers I know. He's been in so many rooms with big artists, been in so many rooms with big producers. He has a brilliant network of producers. This guy is always in the studio. One of the things about him is that he's always letting his authentic personality show. Wherever I'm at, where he's at, whenever I see him, he's always dancing, telling jokes, probably saying something that has to do with his Asian heritage in a funny way. That's just him. That's just what he likes to do, right? He's a funny guy, but he's very authentic. It's funny because he has this real country accent as well. And you wouldn't expect that based on how he looks. Like if you're just judging him off of how he looks, he doesn't look like he'd have an accent like that. But he does, which adds to the appeal. But that's him. He just presents himself as he is. And he's very open about it. Now, I'm not saying you have to be extroverted in that way, or you have to be someone who is outgoing or anything like that. But you have to be you. You have to bring yourself to the table. You have to bring something that people could say, oh, yeah, I like that about him, or I like that about the way that they present themselves. Like, you bring something to the space. You see, he brings something to the space outside of just his music. Sure, he's nice with the beats. He's fire with the beats. But it's all that other stuff. Just, he's a cool person to be around. He's funny. Every time he's in the studio, it's going to be laughter. It's going to be fun to make this music together. That's something else. So you got to bring some value other than just you just sitting in a corner, just, I got beats. I'm playing my beats. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Okay? So you got to bring value. What makes you valuable? Ask yourself those questions. What is it about me? When I go into rooms, when I go and meet people, am I really bringing my full self to the experience? Now, this is when we get into some real stuff. Do you have social anxiety? That's something I used to struggle with a little bit. Social anxiety. Being quiet, staying in the background, not really wanting to talk, not really wanting to let my personality show because I was scared of how others might view me. You got to get past that social anxiety. Start talking to people. Start breaking the ice with people. Start opening up conversations. Be the person that starts the conversation. Be the person that brings the conversation to another point and asks interesting questions. You've got to start leaning into that, or else you're not going to be able to network properly. Because let's say I'm like, hey, I have an opportunity for you. Let's say I host a beat battle or something. and everybody's gonna be there, right? DB, Cloud, K6, TM88, Twisted Genius, Southside, everybody's gonna be there. And you have the opportunity to come. You're invited. If I put you in the room, if I open the door and say, come in, what are you gonna do now? If you don't have those social skills developed to a point where you can take advantage of the opportunity, you'll just be in the room, but you won't be able to make anything out of that. You won't walk up to me and say, yo, nah, what's good, man? Like, I really enjoy your music. I'm thankful for this opportunity to be here. Whoop-de-whoop, this is who I am. Yo, check me out in the beat battle. You won't say anything like that. You won't be able to break the ice. You won't be able to possibly see if you could connect with me. Okay? Or anybody else at that venue or at that event. If you don't have that, you've got to develop that. If you do have that, you need to take advantage of that and use it. And I'll go into how to use that in, later videos. But right now I'm just talking about the foundations. If you have that type of social, you got to understand, where does that come from? I know it's a lot of males on here. It's a lot of men, right? Let's just be real. Pornography's got to go. I'm going to keep it real. It's got to go. I know we talking about music production. That's got to go. If you're still on that, I guarantee you that's why you have social anxiety. This is one of the reasons, probably. If you get rid of that for 90 plus days and you still have social anxiety, then you can say, oh, now I stopped. It was something else. It wasn't that. All right, it's like, okay, maybe it's something else. But for the most part, I find that a lot of guys don't have that when they're watching that stuff, because that stuff is damaging. It's damaging to the mind. I'm telling you. But I ain't gonna get too far into that. Just know, you've got to get rid of things that could be keeping you in a space of social anxiety. And so it's a twofold process. If you know that there may be certain things that are contributing, whether it's that, whether it's another substance abuse, whether it's just high levels of being inside and being, on your technology, being on your phone and not being out in the world, you have to start to take that stuff away and start to face that which is making you anxious. Just say hi to people. Just speak. When when you pass somebody in the grocery store, instead of just walking, hey, how you doing? Male or female, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right. Keep it pushing. Next time you might see yo, your shoes is nice, bro. I messed with them shoes. Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. Have a little conversation. Start doing things to make yourself more comfortable with speaking to people, so that when it comes time to speak to the people that you really need to speak to, you can speak to them. Let me tell you about something. I had an experience where there was a pretty big producer that I really liked in a space that I was at. It was a producer event. And I was meeting people, I was talking to people, I was getting people's Instagrams, connecting, doing things of that nature. And I saw this producer, I was like, yo, I gotta talk to him. I was like, gotta talk to him. And I was a little nervous. I was like, a little nervous. I don't know. But I'm like, man, I got to try. So I go up to him, speak to him, like, listen, I gotta give you your flowers, man. Like, you're really great. Like, you're a really great producer. Really respect everything that you're doing. He's like, oh man, appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. I'm like, yo, if it's possible, can I send you some samples? Can I, start to send you some stuff, man, I didn't work with? And then he's like, man, I don't really take samples like that. I'm like, all right. And one of the other producers that was there is like, yo, this is Now Waves. Like, he got songs with this person. He like, yeah, all right. Well, if you know him, then we locked in. You don't really got to send him straight to me. He could send them to you. I'm like, all right. So I got rejected, basically. I got rejected. But I had to take it on the chin. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. But at least I shot my shot. Right? At least I shot my shot. It's like I wouldn't be comfortable leaving there without having at least done that. You gotta go and shoot your shot. You gotta make the approach. I'm not even talking about women right now. But that's in the same type of... I'm not gonna get into that. But you know what I'm talking about. Like when you get that nervous feeling, you want to walk up to her and you see her, you like, I don't know if I should say something, I don't know. And then you walk away, you leave, you're like, dang, I should have said something. You look at on Instagram, you looking for Instagram. Nah, man. When you see that opportunity, you gotta take it. You gotta go. You gotta go. So how do we start to develop that confidence? To start speaking to people, to start breaking that ice, to start networking. We gotta, number one, like I said, we gotta address the underlying causes that may be causing that social anxiety, whether that may be childhood stuff, whether that may be substance abuse, whether that may be just overloading on dopamine, just being on social media, doom scrolling too much, playing too many video games, staying inside too much, not really getting a lot of social interaction, watching that stuff. You know what I'm talking about when I say that stuff? You know what I'm saying? We got to address that stuff first. Got to get that stuff up out the way. After we get that stuff up out the way, we start to develop our skills. We shake people's hands. We look people in the eye when we're talking to them. We speak with confidence because we only speak on things that we know. We keep it real with people. We are authentic when we speak. If I like Dragon Ball Z, I'm cool. I'm the Dragon Ball Z guy. If I don't eat meat, okay, I don't gotta push that on everybody like, oh, you gotta be vegan, you gotta be vegan. But this is what I do. So if somebody asks me, oh, what's your diet? This is what I do. You see what I'm saying? So you be yourself when you start to meet people, when you start to speak. That way you can properly take advantage of the opportunities. Because this is another part of networking. Let me go into this part. Your true network, like your real network, the network that's gonna really help you when you're in this industry, is the people that you genuinely connect with. It's gonna be the people that you connect with on things outside of music. Like y'all are cool outside of music. Like maybe we both like basketball. Maybe we both like, swimming. Maybe we both like gardening, whatever it is. It could be anything. But you may have just connected with this person on that level because you actually decided to take the conversation there. Take the conversation to your interests. Take the conversation to things that you're really interested in. And if that person is not really into it, all right, cool. Doesn't matter. You just talk about something else. But if that person is into it, now you have the chance for there to be a real, genuine, and stronger connection there that wouldn't have been present before. So I'm telling you right now, a lot of my best connections in the music industry are from people that I've just had real conversations with, talking about stuff outside of music, talking about life, talking about, sports, talking about even challenges that we had, just being men really in this world, people in this world, challenges, stuff like that. And just being comfortable with being vulnerable and letting my real self show. So these are some of the things you've got to start to develop and think about as you go through this journey, man, because it's deep. It gets interesting when you see like, yo, how did that person get that placement? Like their beats are kind of, they're alright, but he ain't like all that. He knows somebody. People know people. That's what matters. That's what always matters. People know people. It's like, dang, he got the promotion? Yeah. He knows somebody. He knows somebody better than you. She knows somebody better than you. So you got to know people. How do you get to know people? You have to let yourself be known first so that they have something to connect to. And then they'll let themselves be known. You have something to connect to. Now y'all are connected. Now the rest is just up to the logistics. The follow-up. Making sure that you're always providing something of value. Sharing things of that nature. But I'm telling you, it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with your social skills. It starts with your comfortability in spaces and your comfortability with yourself. So that is the foundation of networking.